What's going on, guys? This is the DeFi Crypto Alliance show where we're doing our best to be the bridge between our fellow real estate investors and entrepreneurs alike and the cryptocurrency world, where crypto is the biggest opportunity over the next few years. That's not even close. Welcome along on the journey. Corey, take it away.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep, we got you.
That was so weird. It replayed the intro song for me after it ended. It went and it was playing it again, and you were talking. It was really odd.
It's been laggy on your end. That is weird.
It was just laggy. Yeah, but like not only laggy, but wanted to replay. I was like, what the heck is it going on here? Yeah, so super excited to be here with you guys today. Got a lot of exciting stuff going on in the ecosystem. Like, for example, Tetra launching their DEX. We'll talk about that today. I'm really stoked about this protocol and the stuff they got on the roadmap. It's super exciting. But yeah, we just, we're doing our best, guys, to bring you the best, information in the crypto space, cut through the narratives where we can use crypto as that wealth creation tool and then use real estate as a wealth preservation tool when the timing is right. And so it's just been fun to be rocking and roll with you guys during this time. We've even been kind of like pumping, and then we've been kind of getting a pullback. Right now, we're kind of getting that pullback. I think we're getting ready to take off again. But man, it's exciting, the stuff that we're seeing. I really feel like, Dame, and I could be wrong, but I feel like Tetra can end up being the darling of Pulse Chain that brings all the eyeballs from other DeFi ecosystems over and gives us notice, right? Just the same way how GMX did on Arbitrum, because that was like the first of its kind. And that's it. I love Famous. Famous is great, but Famous is a fork. And GMX, when it launched, it was the first of its kind. It was very innovative. It was very revolutionary as far as DeFi is concerned. You could go in and leverage trade without having to use a centralized entity. It was like, wow, what is this? And that's why Arbitrum blew up and did so well, is because that one protocol. I feel like Tetra has the legs to stand on and do that in our ecosystem, assuming they deliver on intent. They got to deliver on intent, and it has to be functional. And when you're creating something brand new, that's where it can get a little bit tricky. Are you going to be able to deliver on all the promises you're making? Are you going to be able to is it going to be functional without, is it going to be like what Rich always says, 100% uptime?
Right.
But man, what they're achieving or setting out to achieve is mind-boggling. Even the DEX. So I was in the space the other night, and this is launching tomorrow, by the way, guys. I think. And if you guys are in the chat, you know more than I do. I'm pretty sure this is launching tomorrow. It was planned to launch tomorrow. So this is a DEX aggregator, not just a DEX. It's not like a PulseX or a FUX. Love both those protocols, but it's not one of those. It's more like a Pitius. I mean, if you guys are not familiar with Pitius, Pitius is just all it's doing, it's grabbing pricing from all the different decentralized exchanges that have the liquidity on Pulse Chain and giving you the best order execution. I love Pitius. I've been using Pitius since its launch time. But Tetras is aiming out to be better than Pitius, actually. It is the capability of routing not only to all the different decentralized exchanges, but it has able to route into different liquidity pools. Crystal Sloth's in here, and Sloth, if you want to just comment in the chat, some of the differences that Tetra's DEX and Pitius's DEX. And I know about the 5 token to 1, but there's something else that I'm missing. Let me know in the chat. Would love to, please educate me. But like this here, Dane, you're looking at. So you could say you're at the top of the bull market. Stuff's getting frothy. Maybe some news is getting launched. You're like, man, this is buy the rumor, sell the news. Or maybe it's like, and you're like, man, I need to get out of all my RH assets. You can come in here and you can plug in all 5 of your RH assets at the same time and go to USDC.
Really?
Yeah. So you can sell all into one or vice versa. Maybe you're doing a DCA strategy and you don't want to like, you don't want to sit there and have to like DCA every single asset that you love, which is, you know, the 5RH assets that we love. You know, Ink token might be the exception for some of you. I do own a little bit of Ink. But you can take your USDC and be like, okay, I want to plug in, you know, 20%, 20%, 20% of my DCA, and you can just execute that order, and then it will buy the 5 tokens
Oh, that'd be nice.
on one execution, and it's supposed to save in gas and give you better order execution. So really quite amazing when you think about that, just for convenience. And the reason why Stu is doing that, Dane, is because he needs the DEX to do these advanced features because now you're going to plug these things into the automation, right? You need these other like features that we've never thought about before because of that. Oh yeah, we're going to have limit orders. That's another thing. We're going to have limit orders on Tetra's DEX where Pidius doesn't have it. PulseX doesn't have it. 9inch has it. But from my understanding, and I'm not a dev and I'm not a techie guy, just from what I hear from the communities, 9 inches is not it's not very good. It doesn't execute very good. The way Tetra's limited orders and the way it's created, it should execute really well. You know, and this is from what I'm hearing from the community. I have no idea. I haven't done my own due diligence. I don't understand why that would be or why not. But yeah, very interesting stuff, man. I mean, these guys are just aiming out to shoot beyond the stars with some of this stuff, and I feel like they're really innovative on the tech side. And man, if they pull off everything they're aiming out to pull off, they're just, man. I think if there's one token that's a sleeper that could potentially do 1000x, and the next bull run, it would be Tetra, assuming they pull everything off and they have like 100% uptime, and it could be amazing. And by the way, Dane, I talked to Stu Man. Stu Man had agreed maybe to come on. You know, it's not a guarantee, but he had agreed to come on our show next week. So hopefully we can get him on the show.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, hopefully we can talk to him a little bit and see where it all stands. And man, I'm just excited. I really am. So.
And I like that. I feel like they're one of the few teams that have been good at communicating what's going on with their stuff. It's been really nice to be able to. They've been doing for a while now. Been doing weekly updates on Fridays, usually letting people know what's going on. Even letting them know the bad with the good. You know, if there's setbacks, what's going on, what they're doing to overcome a lot of that stuff. And man, it's been really nice as compared to. Man, I tell you. So what are your thoughts when it comes to marketing? I feel like I'm not going to say any specifics, but there's a handful of protocols launching on Pulse Chain that have been at least on Twitter promoting their stuff really hard for months now and still haven't launched. Now, you know, like there's the Oracle and things like that. So, you know, one could argue that it's a little bit out of their control, but still I'm like, man, you could only beat your drum for so long before you lose the zest for what it is that you bring to the market. And man, I think I'd adjust my marketing strategy a little bit if that was me and I didn't know when I could launch if I was truly waiting for the Oracle.
Yeah, you know, if they really wanted to, they could find ways around the Oracle. Fame and Fiat. They created their own version of internally an Oracle. Whether it's officially an Oracle, I do not know that, but they resolved the problem internally. They're part of the reason why we're having this very advanced DEX from Tetra that's launching, as Tetra doesn't need the Oracle because they'll be relying on this DEX for a lot of their price calls that will call from all the DEXs on Pulse Chain. All from the different liquidity pools. So that's why because initially, Dane, they didn't plan on launching a DEX aggregator. That was not in their wheelhouse of like, oh, let's go compete with Pidius. That's not the intent, right? they're doing this out of a necessity because the Oracle's not here and they don't want to rely on a third party to deliver on their promises, right? And so I really respect, those guys. I respect Buck for kind of taking the bull by the horns there and saying, hey, look, let's not sit around here and wait for these guys, because what if they don't launch for another 6 months? Like, you got to be careful about that.
That's on
Seriously,
the
like, we
table.
don't know.
And you suffer because of it, right?
You're going to suffer hard because of that. Let's as entrepreneurs, you're always thinking the next step ahead. You're always trying to resolve the problem. So like, okay, let's resolve the problem. How can we create this internally, at least to the point where it's an MVP internally, where a minimum viable product, so we can rely on it. Maybe we can use the Oracle later when that comes out. But yeah, so I give credit to these guys for doing that. And now we're going to probably have, because of this, we're going to have a competitive Pitius, and it might even be better than Pitius. Who knows, right? Because they aimed out to solve a problem, and this problem's turning into a new product that looks like it could be quite useful for our ecosystem. So that's super exciting, man. When I see this.
Yeah, I agree. Sloth says 5 input, 1 output on the DEX aggregator. Not sure if it goes the other way.
Okay, maybe not. We'll get more clarification as we're moving along here, and obviously tomorrow, if it launches, we'll see then. So
I would think that it would have to go the other way as well, like you're saying, Corey, in order to execute some of the automations that they're talking about
from Tetra, right?
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right. So I would think that maybe
it would make sense.
But yeah, it would.
I don't know, man. It would make sense. But I mean, limit orders is super exciting. I mean, God, dude, this thing is going to be a beast, dude. I'm so happy that that I have a Tetra position. So
I am
all I'm gonna say.
It's an interesting one to speculate on. Yeah.
It is. Yeah. Once again, we're speculating on something that's very new, and they're really trying to, solve a problem on blockchain that no one's been able to solve before. And so, yeah.
Yep, I'm with you. I want to see if I could find this post. This was an interesting talking point I saw this morning, where shout out to Sami. He was talking about how Litecoin was one that a token that, of course, very early in blockchain, where Litecoin went and launched. It did its thing during the first bull run, and then it crashed. It went down, man, it went down 97%, 99%, something like that. And then it came back and it pumped 270x, I think, from bottom to top in the next bull run, which is just wild. And man, one of the things that we've been talking about, that Sami has been talking about as well, is that you can go and follow teams, you can follow different crypto communities, but in the end of the day, arguably one of the most important things to be following is community, because if there's building and there's action, then you can naturally see growth, or at least you have a higher likelihood to seeing that. And man, I think we have that same type of potential for Hex and other Richard Hart assets now, with all of the cool things going on in Pulse Chain still, even with the price chart of Hex being down so much.
Can you imagine a 200x from the bottom on our portfolios?
Oh, I was wrong. It was a 326x. Let me share this.
It was a 326. Wow.
All right.
On Litecoin, of all things.
So he said Litecoin dropped almost 98% and then pumped 326x. This was part of crypto history. Of course, there's less competition in this days, and ever since it's disappointed. And so you just want to be aware of the things that you're buying and be patient. It's wild how these runs, when they start, how short they often are. I mean, we look at this chart. I mean, this is June-ish, a little bit before June to February this pump. This isn't even a full year from this bottom to this. It just absolutely ripped. So yeah, I think there's huge upside coming to the Richard Hart ecosystem. We just have to be patient.
Do we know, did he mention in there? I can't really read it. Does he mention like the market cap of what Litecoin was down there in its bottom versus where it pumped to? He might not mention it. I'm sure we can go find it later.
Yeah, I don't see that.
It's remarkable that this is exactly what like Hex is. People are saying, oh, Hex did 99%. Now, not when you combine P Hex. And then for me, I mean, the way I look at it, we had a 5-way stock split. The way I look at it, because all the Hexagon's economic energy went 5 ways after the fork. Well, at the very least, we can definitely all agree on that we had a 2-way stock split, being P Hex and E Hex. And if you combine those together, it's not a 99% drop from the E Hex's all-time high. It's somewhere around the 97, 98. And so this would put us right on par for, if we were to replicate exactly what Litecoin did. Just curious on what the market cap of Litecoin is. And but Litecoin had its own community, and I think it still does. I think it still does have a bit of its own community. It's a proof of work network. It's interesting.
Yeah, it is pretty interesting. So when you talk about, and I'm with you on this one, Corey, you say it's more like a 5-way stock split. Do you think then with that rationale, it's fair to look at the RH tokens as one when somebody compares, and he says, the Richard Hart ecosystem he's comparing all of it combined to like Ethereum, for instance.
See, I do for now, being that, we're kind of just all swapping money around between each other before new money starts coming in. I think when new money, for me, I believe when new money starts coming in, they will gravitate to their favorite assets, and we'll start to see some of these assets maybe take some footing on their own. That's what I believe. It's just right now it's that way because we're all the same. We're all the same people in here swapping money back and forth between these assets, and we have been all bear market, right? All bear market, all the hexagons. But like when new money's coming in, you're going to have guys who are going to gravitate towards Pulse because they understand the fork of Ethereum, gas token. This is the chain narrative. Then you're going to have people who are going to gravitate towards Hex because they're going to understand, this is their store of value. This is the better Bitcoin narrative. And then you might even have some people, and you will gravitate towards PulseX, the DEX. They're going to understand, this is like owning the casino. And you're just going to have different personalities gravitate towards different tokens when the new money's coming in. And some of the new money might buy all 5. Who knows? So in some sense, yes, then you'll probably have some money that will spread out over all 5. But I'm sure there'll be some money that will like something over the rest. And so, it'll be interesting to see it play out, man. But conservatively, when I'm like doing numbers in my head and trying to look at like potential on my portfolio and the market cap, I combine it all together for right now because that's like being conservative, right? Like, and then if it starts like breaking apart and they all have their own, communities even inside these tokens, which would be really cool to see. Then yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Red Squirrel is in here. Yeah, some clarifications. Aggregator, not DEX. Thank you, sir.
It's a DEX aggregator. Yeah. That's why I was comparing it to Piteous.
Oh, I typed it wrong in the title. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I messed that up.
Got it.
And he says, the aggregator doesn't work the other way. That'll be implemented later.
Oh, okay. It makes sense then. So it is coming. It's just they're rolling out the MVP first. Okay.
Yep. Only one-way multi-token swaps equals buy only for now. Yeah, that's good. I like it. I like it a lot. In other news, have you seen more of these guys begging for money on Twitter, Corey?
Oh God, dude, I'm tired of seeing it. Yeah, I mean, there was a YouTube influencer who was begging for money, and I think he might have been joking. I'm not sure if he was serious or if he was joking. I couldn't tell. And if you guys know, because maybe you guys watch his show, he was begging money because he said that his eyes need to be fixed, and he got tired of his haters making fun of him because he had to squint to read the comments.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, and he put his public address up there, and he's like, "Can anybody donate so I can get my eyes fixed, so I can shut the haters up?" I think it was a joke too. Yeah,
Okay, maybe it was just a joke.
I think it was a joke too, and I think he was kind of like, poking at other community members out there who've been doing that, and that would make sense. I don't watch his show enough to know if that like was his intent or not. I just saw it and I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
I saw it too.
Can you guys donate so I can just buy more Pulse?
Right. Well, I thought the funniest part about his post was asking for only RH tokens, and then he said he would hold through the bull run. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, it makes sense if he's joking. So yeah, half joking, he would take the cash. Yeah, see, well then you're not really joking.
Sure.
You're not really joking if you take the money.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, always a Jerry Springer episode to watch here in
they're
the crypto land.
Yeah, they're getting at it pretty hard.
Have they, the two of them, been going back and forth?
Yeah, they've been at it really, really hard. Yeah.
Yeah. It's it's something.
I don't get in it with people, man. Like if I don't agree with your outlook in life, like, okay, I might comment on where my stance is at, then I leave it be. It's like, whatever, you're going to believe what you believe, and it's fine. Everyone has the right to believe what they want to believe in. I'm not going to convince you. I'm not going to convince you any different. You're not going to sit down, Dane, and convince Westcott Crypto he's not getting a 10,000X. You're not going to do it. But everyone on Twitter is trying to do that. And it's like, guys, you're not going to convince him otherwise. Just like let him play his game that he's going to play. And I hope he gets it, right? Like there's always a small possibility, but you just can't convince these guys, man. And everyone on Twitter, they take it so serious and to heart. It's like, God, guys,
Agreed.
It's a waste of my time and energy.
Yeah, exactly. Did you see I'm trying to find the other guy here that was the self-proclaimed TA expert.
We have a lot of those.
Went on the Wolf of Wall Street show.
Oh, that douchebag! Yeah, he dogged Hex really bad on there.
Well, did you see the best part about his post? Oh man, where is it?
I wish Crispy Man would go on that show. Crispy Man has a way of breaking down Hex and the way it works with the T-shares and just the game theory that behind all data. Crispy Man has all that freaking data. He could go on there and just start he would shut them right up, bro. It would be amazing. He could get on that show because they had Funding Jim on there, which is great. I love Funding Jim. He's a good ambassador, but he doesn't have all the data and talking points that Crispy Man has. And you need that with these guys. You need to show them okay, look, guys, here's the freaking facts. Here's the truth. You guys have been fed all this bullshit. Let me show you what the truth is. And that's what we need. We need someone to go in there and shut them up.
Right. Well, and it was funny, the chart that he showed. So he came out and he was shilling the stuff that he liked, self-proclaimed TA expert. And literally at the very top of the charts of the listing is Hex. It's the very top one.
It's saved.
Yep.
It's saved. Yeah. So he's watching it. Why are you watching it, bro? I'm wondering if he's actually an investor. Why are you watching it?
Right. Yeah, I love it, Kaizo. That's perfect.
Yeah, get him on that show. Holy shit. He would shut them right up with all the data and facts that he's got. Mm-hmm. I mean, that would be beautiful.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, Paul nails it. We need the diamond hand cheerleaders for the bull run. They definitely serve a purpose. Absolutely.
Yeah, we need them.
Yep. Oh yeah, it'd be cool to have both of them on there. Access.
There you go. You get the data, the guy with the data and the hard facts, and you get the guy with the TA going up to bat with those two. Oh, that would be a wonderful show.
That would be. I agree.
That would
be. Cool. Well, those are all the things that I had top of mind today. Corey, is there anything else that we should go over, or anything you guys want to go over in the comments? I think we covered everybody.
Crispy man, so we should do it. Yeah, how do we get you on there, Crispy man? I wonder how Funding Jim and who was it who got on there? Was it Funding
Go
Jim
Rags.
and was it Rags? I
Yeah.
love both those guys, and they both make great ambassadors, and they have a lot of great they're great people. Like they have great people skills. But we need guys who can get in there with the game theory and the TA. Like I wonder if Crispy, if we reach out to Gary or Rags or Brandon, if they could get you guys on that show for a follow up to their little clip. I'm sure they're getting bombarded already. Like I'm sure a lot of Hexicans have been like just spewing toxicity his way. I'm sure kind of what happens. Like if we could get like Gary or Brandon to schedule another show and then bring in Crispy and Axis on there, man, I think that'd be a wonderful show. That'd be really good.
Agreed.
So, man, I mean, good. Tomorrow we'll probably do open mic. Friday, like normal. Not a lot going on except for Tetra. Tetra super, super exciting. I'm stoked for this protocol. I'm stoked to see like what our guys, Red Squirrel, Sloth, and Neil for T-Shares, and what these guys, what kind of scripts they're going to write for automation. It's going to help, like, in our group, we have a lot of real estate entrepreneurs. These guys are extremely busy, and like they need a little automation in their life. I can't tell you how many times we're at guys when we're at like at an event or maybe it's an after hours party from an event. A guy will come up and be like, "Hey, I just want to give you $100,000. Would you invest it for us?" We're like, "No." Like we're not a fund, and cryptocurrency was invented to empower you to be your own bank. We're not going to do that for you. We can hold you by the hand and instruct you as you're doing it, done with you, but it's not a done for you. Where Tetra will add a little bit of that component. So guys, think about this when you're out there talking in the real world on people who maybe they're a little bit they're restricted on time. And they want stuff to be more automated. This is that like you're in Tetras, you're in, assuming they deliver on what their intent is. And I think I got high hopes for them. I think they will. But this could be it, man. Where you're having that conversation and someone comes up to you and goes, hey, can I give you $200,000 and you just do it for me? And it's like, no, but tell you what, if you just go and I'm going to show you how to just set up your wallet, we're going to go and we're just going to plug into something that will do all the automation for you. And so that way you can go live your life, run your real estate business, and you just come back and check in on it maybe once a month and cash out your rewards if you want to, or maybe you can figure out other strategies in the ecosystem. So keep that in mind, guys. This could be a great onboarding tool just because of the narrative of the automation. I mean, Zapier changed the Web 2 world. And did you know Zapier, Dane, was created by a guy? I didn't know this. I learned this about it was a week ago. It might have been in the Tetra chat room or somewhere. It was created by a guy. He did no like pre-raise or no. It was all his own money, and it turned into $1 billion company.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's
no
cool.
investors. It was like a real unicorn that that changed how we operate on Web 2, right? With websites and the interconnection of different work things that we do every day in our life. I'll give you an example, guys. I had when I used to run my real estate company, I'd have PPC going. PPC stands for pay per click. So when sellers would enter, they want to sell their house, they would come into the pay per click. Oh, actually, it would come into the website. The website. So the pay per click would pay per click advertise my ad. They click on the ad, it goes to my website, they enter the information on the website, and then Zapier would zap it over to my CRM. And so like it was really cool. I could not have run my real estate business. I mean, maybe I could have, I'd have figured it out, but like Zapier made it like a million times easier to automate these things in my business life. And Tetra is going to do the same thing in the Web3 space for us, in the crypto space. So I think it's going to be really, really cool.
Well, even that aggregator is really cool. I was on a call with one of our one-on-one guys yesterday, and all the no coiners, every single time we build out a strategy, and then they're buying the different cryptocurrencies, and they're like, man, I need to come in and do this every week. And even just the aggregator being able to go in a few clicks, buy 5 different tokens that you may want to have as part of your portfolio, I mean, is really nice. I'm excited about that.
And that's just the beginning, right? Obviously, they're going to do the other direction, and then who knows what else they're thinking about. I mean, where do they come up with this shit? I couldn't come up with this stuff. Like, how did they come up with this, man? This is wild. Super, super cool, though.
Yep, absolutely. Oh, and then the other thing that I did want to mention that is that's really exciting was the Coast guys. We talked about it a little bit on the show.
Yeah.
But being able to go in, do a gasless swap where you could buy Pulse X, Hex, or Coast without
and wait.
And wait. Oh yeah, that's a great point. So you could buy your weight, you could stake it, get a better,
then mint your CST.
Yeah. Being able to have that, I think, is huge. Right now, it's such a pain to go. And the other day, I was trying to walk one of our guys through buying wrap Pulse over on ETH and then bridge it over. And I was like, man, he wasn't getting it. And I was like, I'll just send you some Pulse.
That's what I do. That's what I always do. I'm like, I'll just send you a little bit of Pulse.
Way easier.
And like, don't even worry about sending it back because I don't want to make it complicated. I'm like, here, just have it. And like,
right.
And your first transaction, you buy Pulse. Like you have to buy Pulse on your first transaction. But yeah, this again is making the onboarding that much more easier, right? So now we can you literally can wire or ACH into Coast, make your first buy Pulse. You can make your second buy, weight, stake your weight, and then mint your CST. And then you're on chain and you're ready to go, and you can go right to the Tetra protocol and implement one of Red Squirrel's or Neil for T shares or Crypto Man Sloth. One of those guys is automation. And then literally, dude, it hasn't got any easier. Once all this is up and going, it has not gotten any easier to onboard. It really, I'm sure they'll think of more ways to make it easier, but man, from where we're at just literally a few months ago, where Ethereum has been at, this is amazing. This is amazing innovation, all this stuff. Even Trust Token Day, when we were using Trust Token on Ethereum, it was the same kind of, same thing as like Coast was, but Trust Token didn't have a feature of buying Ethereum inside your DeFi wallet before minting your TUSD, and that way you can go and operate on the Ethereum network. Our guys are, they're forward thinkers, dude. These guys are thinking, man. They're like, man, how can we make this shit easy for people? And I love that. I love that, man. It's and that's how I know we are in the right place at the right time with you guys. And this is the best community in crypto, and probably the best community that I've ever rock and rolled with as far as business is concerned too. I absolutely love it. It's just it's been phenomenal, man. So
that was a good one. There's a clip for you right there, Kaiser. Very good. Cool, guys. Well, appreciate you coming on. Appreciate you in the comments. We'll catch you tomorrow on the Open Mic Show.
Open Mic Show, guys. Come on, let's wrap.
Yep. See you guys.